Over the years, I've learned the hard way that there are no simple choices in life. Since my departure, things seem to have gotten even more complicated for my friends on Wisteria Lane, as well as my newest neighbor. Indeed, making a choice between the status quo, the chance to live on the edge, or to rekindle a long-lost passion is a difficult and complicated affair. But sometimes, we find ourselves with no other option than to make a choice, and we can find the very decision liberating in and of itself.
Look who's here. So glad you could finally join us. I'd offer you a seat, but Eric and your husband took the last 2 chairs. Not much. I was just strolling through the neighborhood and ran into these 2. I figured the 4 of us could have a nice little chat. Hey, it's just like I said. I was right outside your house when I ran into my old friend here, Eric.
We're not friends, Corsetti.
We ran into each other and caught up on old times. You see, he's been watching me, but what he didn't know is that I've been watching him too. Today was supposed to be the big revelation, wasn't it, Eric? It still is, but not quite in the way you were hoping. There are people who want you to think of me as a bad guy, someone who shouldn't be trusted under any circumstances. But they're wrong. Dead wrong. Tonight, you're gonna find out who the men in this room really are. And by the end of the evening, you're going to make a choice. You're gonna pick the man you want to spend the rest of your life with. Of course, if you decide that you want me sooner than that, I'll understand. Why don't you start out by asking a couple of questions? See what everyone here has to tell you. In case you're tempted to try anything funny, I've cut your phone line and disabled your computer. And don't be stupid and try to run off. I've got eyes in the back of my head. I've got a guy just outside keeping a close watch on the place. No one's getting in or out unless I say so. Trust me, there's a lot you don't know about the men sitting in this room. Ask them whatever you want. Given the circumstances, it's in their best interest to answer honestly.
One thing's for certain, things need to be different. I'll do whatever you want, marriage counseling, a family therapist, whatever it takes. I just don't want to lose you. I can't live without you.
Well, you could expect me to make an honest living, provide you with everything you need and some of the things you want. I'd be home every night in time for family dinner, and I'd treat you like you deserve to be treated, with respect. On a federal agent's salary, I wouldn't be able to hire anyone to take care of the housekeeping. But on the other hand, I can guarantee you I'll never hire anyone to take care of you, like Corsetti did once upon a time.
Don't pay any attention to him. He'll say whatever he thinks he needs to in order to save his sorry hide.
Vinny's the one you shouldn't listen to, Mary. He doesn't want you to remember what he did to you, because if you did, you wouldn't have anything to do with him.
All right, that's enough out of you, Larson. Zip it. That's a good question. I I see you haven't lost all your smarts. You'll live a life of luxury. I'll see to it that you can have everything you've ever wanted. You'll never have to cook another meal or clean a house ever again. It sounds like you've gotten some interesting information from everyone in the room. What's your next question?
I'd take you down to the local police precinct and have you give a written statement about everything that happened tonight. Why do you ask?
If? There's an if? I'm your husband. Love, honor, and obey. Did you forget that little part?
Actually, there's a lot to consider, whether she knows it or not. I would take you to a little out-of-the-way French restaurant I know of that makes the best creme brulee you'll ever have. After that, we'll head back to my estate, open a bottle of Cabernet Sauvignon, and let things progress naturally. You've got a lot to consider right now, so I'd say we're just about finished. Do you have any final questions for us?
No, I've come clean with you about everything. As much as Vincent doesn't want to hear it, there's nothing left to say. However, I will say that Eric over there isn't the saint he makes himself out to be. A little while ago, he barged into my office looking for God knows what. Now, I won't jump to conclusions, even though it seems everyone else here is doing just that. But I will say that he spent a lot of time asking questions about you, as opposed to questions about an actual case, which doesn't seem like fitting behavior for a distinguished federal agent.
Sorry to disappoint you, but I've told you the truth from day one. Hell, I always tell the truth. It's probably my greatest flaw. The only thing I waited for was the right time to tell you the truth about Vincent, about your past, about everything. And that's also the reason why you saw me leaving the medical office. I was investigating a hunch, one that explains everything that you can't. For the past 20 years or so, you've had an acute case of retrograde amnesia. You knew something was wrong, but since your husband was kind enough to fill in all the fabricated details, you were blissfully unaware of that fact.
Come on, Larson. This is the real world, not some soap opera. Next thing you'll be telling us is that she has an evil twin. You'll have to do a lot better than that if you want to get out of here in one piece.
That's the first sane thing you've said tonight, Vincent. There's no way she has amnesia. It's not medically possible. Don't lie to the woman, Eric.
Of course, neither of these guys are going to let you believe it, since you discovering the truth isn't exactly in their best interests.
That's enough out of you. If you can't answer the questions honestly, then just keep your mouth shut. Me? Come on. What could I possibly know that's worth lying to you about? You know, this is exactly what Larson wants, right? I knew you'd fall into his trap. He'll do whatever it takes to get you on his side, so that he can arrest me on whatever trumped-up charges he comes up with. Larson has a whole story concocted that explains everything he wants you to believe. He says that I know you, that he knows you, and that I killed you. Which of course means that I should go to jail, right? Really convenient how that all works out for him, isn't it? He gets the girl and the collar. It's almost too good to be true, isn't it, Larson? Yeah, that'll have to do. So now's the big decision. Now that you've heard everything, who do you want to spend the rest of your life with? Sweetie, you really should learn how to make up your mind. I don't have all day. And what's more, hey, quit your squirming. All right. I've got something I need you to do. Go over there and tighten their ropes. I don't want anyone leaving our little soiree before you have a chance to make your decision.
Come closer. Keep your voice down. You don't want him to hear you. Hey, when we were being tied up, I saw that your friend Eric had a gun hidden near his ankle. He's our best shot at getting out of this alive. Why don't you go over there and loosen his ropes? Cut it out. This is no time to get snippy. Lives are on the line. Okay, listen to me. Vincent's losing it. Do whatever you can to keep him from going completely insane. He seems to think he has a shot with you. Use that in your favor if things get hairy.
Hey, I sent you over there to tighten their ropes, not chat. So cut it out.
I don't know what Vincent thinks he's doing here, but I promise you one thing. We're gonna make it out of here alive, together. I'll make sure he spends the rest of his unnatural life behind bars. He took my gun, but I have another one hidden in my sock. Loosen my ropes up a bit, and I'll see about getting us out of here. He has my gun. You don't really think he's gonna let me out of this alive, do you?
I know for a fact that it doesn't take that long to tie a knot. Hurry it up over there. Good. You're finished. Now let's just check your work. Why don't you head over there and double-check your mother's handiwork?
Actually, it's kinda loose.
Oh, really? I wonder how that happened. I'm not an idiot. It's my fault for trusting you so quickly. Doesn't matter. I've got something else for you to do anyway. We've been playing too many games. I'll admit, I had my fun with all of you tonight, but now it's time for you to make a decision. Take this gun and use it to rid yourself of the men sitting in this room that you never want to see or hear from again. And don't worry about the consequences. No matter who dies tonight, you won't take the fall. I've taken care of everything. So, and I mean this literally, fire away.
Whoa, hey, hold on.
Wait a minute. At the very least, I think we all deserve the opportunity to plead our cases.
He's right. It's not fair. You can't pass judgment on another person without letting them have a final word.
What's the matter? Afraid she's gonna shoot you?
I'm not going to defend myself in front of that scumbag. But if you really think I should, here it goes. I never lied to you, not for a moment. And I don't need a gun pointed at my head to tell you that. Unlike someone else in this room, I didn't pay someone to kill you. And I would never place you in this kind of situation where you're forced to kill someone close to you. It's just sick. There's really nothing else to say. I love you. I always have. You have a chance here. No one has to die. We can all walk out of here, and the only one who's going to pay is a low-rent mafia middleman who started this whole situation anyway.
So you know that whole thing that Eric told you about me a few minutes ago? Well, I want to come clean with you about that. I know I told you that he was lying, and that what he was saying made no sense whatsoever, but that's not entirely true. The truth is this. We haven't been married for as long as I've told you. In fact, we aren't even technically married. I found you at a difficult time in my life. Right after the death of my wife, I'd put all my time and energy into saving her life, and I couldn't. She's the one I was referring to in my journal entries. After she died, I quit work and spent my days and nights at our beach house. The walks I took on the beach late at night were the only thing that really helped me get my head together. The only times I didn't feel despair. And one of those nights I found you. You were just lying there, unconscious. You had been badly pounded by the rocks and waves. But it also looked as though you'd been in an accident of some kind. It was obvious that you'd suffered a head wound. When you first gained consciousness, you didn't know who I was or who you were. I had never seen a case of retrograde amnesia before. I didn't even think it was possible. The more I read up on the condition, the more I realized how traumatic it would be to tell you the truth. You had no memories of your past life, so I decided to fabricate a story. The jogging accident story. You bumped your head while out jogging. I know it's hard to believe, but things just sort of snowballed from there. We had a son, a house, you had a loving husband with a successful career. We were a family living the American dream. Why spoil it? I've been keeping that secret for what seems like forever, but I'm glad it's out in the open now. If you don't want to be with me, I completely understand. But don't let this madman turn you into a monster.
What do I have to say for myself? Not too much, really. You, on the other hand, have all of your options laid out right in front of you. All you have to do is make a decision. Look around you. Who would you be better off never seeing again? The Weasley investigator, the deceitful spouse, or the charming and incredibly handsome out-of-towner? Hey, I don't need you to spare me. I'm just giving you the opportunity to prove to me that you're ready to ditch this mundane housewife lifestyle and live a life of excitement and grandeur. You're just gonna have to trust me. Now go on already. Pick someone. I know you'll make the right choice. That's my girl. It's good to see a little flash of that dark side I fell in love with. But don't worry, you won't be killing anyone tonight.
What the hell did he do to you? You never behaved this way before.
Yeah, I don't even recognize you. It's like you're a completely different person. What's your problem?
Watch it, pal. That gun wasn't loaded this time. But next time, all bets are off.
I can't believe it. You just tried to shoot me. Why? Are you really going to stand there and try to justify what you just did? You just tried to kill your husband and the father of your only child. I cannot believe you would make that kind of a decision. It just doesn't make sense. Have you even thought about what you'll do after this? I mean, what's going to happen to our son? Are you just going to leave him here while you're out cavorting with this nut job and doing the Bonnie to his Clyde thing?
I don't know. Life on the run, women on the side, danger lurking around every corner. It sounds kind of cool.
When your mom walks out of here on my arm, you'll be a Corsetti. And when it comes to women, Corsettis always get what they want. How does that sound to you?
I'm not sure, but it sounds cool to me.
No son of mine is going to run around with a common criminal. You've got to put a stop to this. Right now. At this point, I don't know what more I can tell you. I already came clean with you about everything. Everything! What else do you want from me?
There isn't anything else you need to tell her. You've done all you can. Right now, all we can do is hope that she comes to her senses before it's too late.
You picked an interesting target. Was there any particular reason you chose one over the other? Is that so? Well, don't worry. You won't have that problem with me. Even with all you know about me, you still sound unconvinced. Care to take a test drive?
You can't be serious. Now? You're going to have sex with this lunatic now? In our bedroom? While we're bound to chairs in the living room. What the hell? Stop for a moment. Think about your family. Think about your future.
No. Let her go. She's doing what she has to, in order to get what she wants. Isn't that right, Mary?
What do you say we head upstairs? Your son should be able to take care of our guests while we're indisposed. Keep a close eye on the both of them, especially Larson. Don't hesitate to let him have it if he makes a move.
Mom, can I talk to you for a minute? Alone? You know, Mom, bad doesn't even begin to describe it. You're about to bang a mob boss with Dad tied up in the living room. I may be a clueless teenager, but even I know something is really wrong with the situation. Promise me you won't do anything with that scumbag. Oh, Mom, that's gross. But then again, I really don't go for the temperamental 40-year-old mob boss type. And I really didn't think my boring mother would either. Ditching Dad and Agent Larson sounds like a plan, though, especially if you're taking me with you. And come to think of it, Eric was probably bluffing about the whole life on the run thing anyways. He's as pathetic as Dad. And I take it you want me to stay down here and hold the fort while you're upstairs getting your freak on with Fairview's Most Wanted. Standing guard down here shouldn't be a problem. Just do me a favor and try not to be too loud. You might wake the neighbors. And I really don't want to hear what you two are doing. One last thing, though. Are you sure you want to go through with this? Are you sure you want to be with this guy? All right. I sure hope you know what you're doing.
What the hell? You know what? That could have been anything. A car backfiring, champagne cork popping, someone getting shot. No need to worry until we know the details. Now, where were we? Oh, come on, baby. You can't be serious. You are serious. All right, then, fine. Let's go downstairs and see what the hell's going on.
Oh my God, what did you do?
I didn't have a choice. He was moving.
Yeah, he shifted a bit, but why did you shoot him?
Well, what if he had a gun or something? I was just protecting us.
Come on! What kind of threat was he with his arms and legs tied up?
Don't listen to your father. You did the right thing. Eric Larson was a delusional sicko. You did us all a favor, trust me.
I was only doing what you told me to.
You did good, son. Tell me, how did it feel to take someone's life?
Feel?
When you shot him, what did that feel like?
It was kind of a rush. It felt good.
Attaboy. That feeling of knowing you have power over someone's very existence is a thrill in and of itself. And believe me, it never gets old. But you'll find that out in due time, once we tie up all of our loose ends and make our way out of here. That's actually not a bad idea. If you'll excuse me for a moment, your husband and I need to have a little talk about some things.
What? What do you mean? That can't be true. It just can't.
Come on. Would I lie to you? It's not important. I was just telling your husband here how he has such a lovely family, and how I'll have fun taking his place.
No, don't. You can't. What did I ever do to deserve this? You have to stop him. You sadistic bastard! Don't think you'll get away with any of this. They'll find you and you'll pay for everything you've done today. Everything! If you really want to do this, if you really want to kill me, then go right ahead. Pull that trigger and prepare to spend the rest of your life either living on the run or rotting away in a jail cell.
Let me tell you something. I'm not really much for running. Or getting caught. It's really not my style. I think I'd prefer the whole getting away with murder route.
Oh yeah? Well, killing me in front of my wife and son is never going to work. They'll never forgive you and they'll never forget.
Your family Please, she was never your wife, and he was never your son. Goodbye.
When faced with tough decisions, one is often forced to make sacrifices. Some of us choose to leave the comfort and stability that is the hallmark of our existence. Some make the decision to walk away from the status quo, while others choose to forgive past misdeeds, no matter how great, in pursuit of an elusive form of happiness. For without 20/20 hindsight, we will never know if our choice is the right one. With time, effort, and the support of our friends and neighbors, we will always find some way to be at peace with our decisions.